What's up, guys? Today I'm going to teach you about derivatives. Now, first of all, derivatives are a huge part of calculus. I'm sure you guys have covered them, hopefully, before you go over this video, or you won't understand a whole lot. However, I ran through the four major methods to differentiate or derive. The first method is the power rule. Power rule is the simplest of all derivative methods. You take the power, multiply it by the coefficient, and then subtract 1 from the original power. So 3x to the fourth will become 12x to the third. Once again, power, multiply by coefficient, subtract 1, 6x squared. Power, the coefficient here is understood to be a 1, so we're going to multiply that to get 2x. Subtract 1 is going to be just to the first. Next, we're going to take, if it's just to the x, coefficient times x, we're just going to take the coefficient as the derivative. And the derivative of a constant is always going to be 0, so we're not even going to worry about it. Sometimes you're going to want to take the second derivative for other purposes. Could be for finding derivative relationships. Next, so that's just going to do the same process again. You're going to do 3 times 12, which is 36, minus 1 is the second. 2 times 6 is 12, x, plus the derivative of 2x, which is 2. Next, we have a more complex rule called the product rule. Now the product rule says you're just going to take the derivative of the first times the second plus the derivative of the second times the first. In this method, here's an example. X squared times x to the third plus 4. The derivative of this would be the derivative of the first one, 2x, times the second one, plus the original first one, times the derivative of the second one. So after you get this, you're going to distribute this 2x to this, and this x squared to the 3x squared. This is going to give you 2x to the fourth, plus 8x, plus 3x to the fourth. Next, you're just going to simply combine like terms. 2x to the fourth plus 3x to the fourth equals 5x to the fourth, plus your 8x. Next, we have a lot more complex rule called the quotient rule. The quotient rule is when you're find the derivative of a fraction. That's the only time you're really going to be using that. So, and the formula for it is just going to be low times the derivative of your top minus your top times the derivative of your bottom times your bottom squared. Next, here's the example. Y equals x squared over 3x minus 1. So you're going to take y prime equals low d high minus high d low over low low. Like I said, the bottom squared is low low. Next, you're going to multiply, so you're going to get 6x squared minus 2x minus 3x squared all over your bottom. Your bottom's not usually going to change a lot depending on the type of problem it is. Next, you're going to combine like terms to keep subtracting that 2x. And at the end, finally, you could probably factor out this x and get your answer. Which your answer being x times 3x squared, or 3x minus 2 all over your bottom 3x minus 1 squared. Finally, we have the big boy, the chain rule. Chain rule never goes away, just like factoring. This is when you have h of x equals f times g of x, such as you're going to have example here in a second. And you're going to do the derivative of the first times the inside staying the same times your inside derivative. And an example of this would be You're going to see a lot of trig in these, by the way. So y equals sine of x squared. Therefore, your derivative would equal derivative of sine is cosine. Hopefully you guys have learned the trig derivatives by the time you're watching this. Multiplied by your inside, x squared. It's going to stay the same. And then multiply it by your 2x, which is your inside derivative. Hope you guys are doing great in calculus. That's all for today, and I wish you guys the best of luck on the test. Miss Grace is an amazing teacher, and by the way, I miss you, Miss Grace. Bye.